What is up, everyone? So I did take a couple of trades earlier in the day. Right now it's 10:40 a.m. PST, so it's probably like around 1:40 p.m. EST. Did take a couple of L's today, but price did end up going my way. So I just kind of got a little spooked out, to be honest, because it was just not my style, my trading style. Or it was my trading style kind of, but it was moving too slow, honestly, and I just don't like it when it moves pretty slow. So we can see that I started recording because I see a potential opportunity. So you can see that we kind of touched this 50% retracement area on the 144, which is denoted by this green box. And we just have our simple play that kind of formed. This high was created, this low was created. Now I kind of just want price to close above this zone, be a confirmed close, which it looks like it might be doing. Then just wait for price to kind of come back in this area, and then hopefully it'll just go up. So you just gotta wait and just be patient about it. But yeah, that's why I just started recording, because I just saw this. I just had this up in the background. I wasn't really staring too much at the charts. So we'll see what kind of happens. Alright, yeah, we get that nice confirmed breakout. I would like to see price retrace back down to here and respect the 503 area. But price has been moving fairly slow, so we might not get that opportunity, get that chance. Yeah, on average it's been taking like a few minutes for each 34R candle. Also, I would like to see what the 55's up to. Yeah, so the 55, we are in a 233R retracement area. Decent pullback. I would like to see a little bit more of a retracement here for the 55. But as of right now, it's all right. I'm gonna go put my eyes in, so I'll be right back. Okay, price is moving pretty, just kind of moving up, honestly. got to be aware of this retracement area by the red box. We need price to go down like another 3 points just to touch this box before we can consider going long. Also, it would be ideal because that means we would be able to get 2 entries, one on the 34 and then one on the 55, because we're in the retracement zone for the 144 and as well as the 233. So if we were able to touch this, like get a little bit lower in here, what's this high? This high is at like 14.25. So if we were able to get like at 500, and we do get that bounce on the 34, then the long potential for the 55 looks good as well. Yeah, so I would say ideally we would want price to retrace back to the top of this green box. Yeah, and then if we are able to kind of retrace back into this area, that means we probably wouldn't enter long until like somewhere around here, which wouldn't be too bad because considering that there is a retracement zone right above here. Yeah, so before anything really happens, we're going to be waiting a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we're just here waiting for 20 minutes. I am tempted to go long because, you know, we kind of just bounce out of there.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Yeah, we're gonna place a stop below this low. Yeah, so the reason why I entered here is because I like how we didn't exactly touch the zone that I was looking for, but when we did retrace back into here, we did respect this, I guess, order block. What's a 55 looking like? I would like a somewhat of a decent push to the 20s right here. We can get like a little bit of push. I'll just go to break even. Yeah, up around here. I'll put my stop break even right up there. So what's a 30-minute swing looking like? All right. I think we're kind of near the 20s. What's the high? The high is literally at 20. Yeah, I might have to move to break even. Yeah. Just above. So pretty much if this candle makes a new low, then I'm out. Yeah, we already 6 points in profit, so gotta stick to my rules. So once I'm like 5 to 7 points in profit, I pretty much just go towards like break even. Previous 15-minute candle looks good. It looks like it's kind of just bouncing from this point of control. What's the 5-minute look like? 5-minute candle that just formed about a couple minutes ago also looks good. I just am not sure if we might end up getting stopped out before price can keep on going up. Yeah, we might get stopped out right here. Guess we'll see then. Yeah, it's a risk-free trade as well. I'm not really worried about it, but I obviously do wish that it hits my profit target, but it doesn't seem like it will. Yeah. Also, I gotta bring like my fan in here or something. I have central AC, but for some reason in this room it just doesn't work too well. I'm tempted to just close one of my accounts just for a little bit of a profit. Yeah, right now the 34 candle is like it's like very close to closing. The low, let me pull it up for you. 34, very close to closing. If this can just kind of stay up here and close, I do feel much better of it hitting my profit target at the 524 level. I think I'm gonna close my one. Let me see, what's this low? It's at 12.5, so then, yeah, 21.5. Need to go a couple more ticks. Yeah, I'm gonna close.
Order filled.
One of my accounts. And we're gonna keep this guy, the Pro 100 K Pro account open. Yeah, I'll move it up, stop loss up to here. So I don't want it to make a new low. I might just close out here because it's like right about, yeah.
Order filled.
I just closed out there because it was like, I think my target was at 24 and I would have gotten filled out right there. But it's fine. It is what it is. But I do like this a lot better. I stuck to my strat. Didn't really deviate too much from it. And the play worked out well. Worked out decent. My strat didn't work exactly how I preferred it to have. So I'll just kind of go over the trade again. Let's see, let me just get rid of this guy. All right, so the reason why I was interested in this area and going long was because if we look at the 144, we can see that we retrace back into the 50% area right here. Let me actually get rid of, turn this one indicator off called retracement to custom range. So it gets rid of those boxes. So now it's a little bit more clear to see. So we ended up coming into this 50% retracement area from this up close candle with decent order flow. And then also if we look at the 233, we are also coming into a 50% retracement level, as you can see right there. And we're bouncing off of it very nicely. Yeah, definitely. If price wasn't moving so slow, I would have definitely just left my profit target as it is, but price has been moving fairly slowly. So since we're coming into the retracement areas of the 144 and as well as the 233, you got to looking for potential entries. So same thing as what I always look for. I look for a high and a low. As you can see, it's denoted by these blue lines. So within this zone, I want to look for a high that is created, followed by a low that is created. Then we want to break those highs as a confirmed breakout and price kind of retrace back to that area and see if price will continue going up and we can see here that it does keep on going up. So we have the high, we have the low, new high made, new low made. This box just demonstrates the high and the low that is created within the zone that we were watching. So I personally would have preferred price, instead of reaching a low 24,504.5, I would have liked to see it touched this box that I drew, but it was 2 points away. And then we can also see that this order block that I have, it respects it. And inside that order block, we have like another tiny one that is also formed, and that's also respected. So that's why I just decided to go for a long. I saw that we were at 233, 144R retracement areas. So I liked my opportunities, and we have been pushing up all day. So we've been trending up. So it gives me a little bit more confidence to enter, and that's it. Entered here. Stop loss is up to you. You can place it below the entry candle, so it's more like a 1-to-1 at least, or you can place it below this box. You can place it below. Personally, from my personal experience, I would like to have it below the low of everything, and I'll show you as to why in the 2 previous trades I took earlier today. But they ended up being losers just because I wasn't feeling the market vibe. Market vibe was just kind of going, it was going too slow. It wasn't going like this. It was going way too slow for me. So now we're gonna analyze as to why my other trades earlier today were losses. So I didn't take my first trade until 7:47 or 7:45. So like a whole hour and 15 minutes after the market opened, which is kind of crazy. That is actually crazy. Very slow day today. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this. So let's see, is it this one? Excuse me. So I didn't see anything on the 34R. As you can see, we do have pullbacks and stuff, but it's not the way I trade. So I didn't really want to look at the 34 anymore after we closed above this high. Closing above here, it does signal like, all right, let me look for other opportunities to see if I can try to find an entry. And the spot where I did find an opportunity to enter was on the 55. Because on the 55, you can see we do have that pullback. And this blue line right here, it's very kind of hard to see, but it's right underneath this minus 0.22 number. And that is where the 34R was able to close above the order block, and it was confirmed. It was a nice breakout. So I had a little bit more conviction to go long. So then I just wanted to wait for price to kind of do its thing. My strat, I gotta be patient. And I was waiting, I was patient for over 20 minutes to watch this thing kind of happen. So now that we know we're in the retracement area, this is the high that is created, and this is the low that is created from the 55. Remember, this tiny line is just from the 34R. So now we just kind of watch and wait. We have a high formed here, a low formed here, but it was not any confirmed breakout. As you can see here, no confirmed breakout. Honestly, even right here, still no confirmed breakout. We get a rejection. The only time we do get a confirmed breakout is right here. Right here is where we get the confirmed breakout. But one thing that I kind of noticed, but I didn't take into account for another trade later down the road, was that we broke above this original high, but we kind of rejected it and price kind of came back down. And you can see that I did take an entry here, an early entry on 34R, which I will show you. but I did end up exiting because price did not close above this level. So that was my first L. And if we go on to the 34, the reason why I entered prematurely was because I was doing the same thing as what was shown on the 55R, but on the 34R. So we had a nice breakdown, price went up. Then as soon as this candle closed, I entered. And you can see I entered a little bit below, but I got I guess a better fill. So I entered, and this is when the 55R was kind of starting to reject. And it does reject, and I ended up closing. Oh, sorry, that's not even where the right spot. The right spot is this one. It's right here. This is the right spot. So I entered prematurely because if we look at the 55, let me pull it up on a different chart so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Let's see. So on the 55, as I said before, we have the high, the low, a new high, then a new low. As soon as we make this new high within the zone, we make this new high and we get a nice down close candle on the 55, boom, I'm already interested on trying to look for earlier entries on a time frame like a step lower. So one step lower time frame for me from the 55R is the 34R. And remember, this is just the fib numbers that I just like to use. So as soon as this candle closes right here, I'm already looking for entries. And this candle low is, move that over a little bit and pull that other chart back up. This candle low is the same as this candle low right here. So once this candle low is formed, like I'm looking for longs. But instead of in the higher time frame, I'm looking for on the shorter time frame, so I can try to get like two different entries, one on the 34 and then another on the 55 if possible. So on the 34, I just kind of wait to see if we can close above, I guess, an order block and have it be a confirmed breakout. And it doesn't really, you can see that that's an opportunity, this one's an opportunity, but I took this lower one right here where the box starts as the first opportunity. So we were able to close above, confirmed. Price touches in here, close outside of it, nice. So that's why I entered right here. You can see by this blue arrow that I entered, but then price starts to reject and not go into my favor. And I closed right there, you can see. And the reason why I closed was because due to that 55R, the 55R right here, it rejected this high, and I wanted to see a nice close above that high. So I just closed, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. But if I did keep my original stop loss, like down here below this low, and I just aimed for the 10 points, I would have gotten filled in right over here. Which, it does suck, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather take a small L than taking like a bigger L. And this would have been what, almost a 30-point stop loss, which is it's a little bit more than I would like. I'm okay. I guess I'm okay with like 25, but the extra 5 points, I don't know why. There's something inside me where I'm just like, I don't really want to risk that much. 25 points, I'm alright, but 30, I'm like, it's a little sus. But I had strong conviction that it was going to go higher, which it does, and you can see it does even go higher and higher over here. But that was the first trade I took. And the second trade I took was pretty much based off the same thing. But I exited around break even because if we look here, let me get rid of these drawings. Actually, let me do it on this 55 over here. Let me do it on this 55. Okay, let's get rid of this drawing. Let's get rid of this drawing. All right. So we can see that on the 55, as I was stating before, that this high rejected the original zone's high, and I was no longer interested in it. But since price was moving very, very slowly, I kind of forgot that price rejected up here. And after that rejection, I'm no longer interested in going long because it just kind of broke one of my rules. But price moving slowly, I didn't really realize that, or I didn't remember that price rejected here. But anyways, so just me thinking that everything's nice and dandy, we didn't break above this high or even touch it. We get a nice confirmed breakout to the high, to the upside. Price comes back in, and you could enter right here. That's what I should have done. Enter right here, stop below down here or even down here. But I was a little bit, I guess, impatient because of how slow the market was moving. So I kind of just wanted to enter and just enter, and I don't know, I was impatient. So the reason why you can see a blue mark here and a blue mark here is because I entered 2 different times because I felt that it was going to be going to the upside more, which it ultimately does. So I had, the right conviction. I had my strat was good and everything, but I just got scared. I got nervous because it was just taking too long. And I don't like being in long trades. And by what I mean by long trades, I mean I don't like being in trades that take a long time to complete. So once I entered at 8:06 around, and then I finally exited a little bit over half an hour later. And for me, a half an hour trade's crazy long. I'm only in trades like a minute, maybe. So half an hour for me is like ridiculously long. I definitely should have stuck with my initial analysis, but after I saw that we rejected this high, I was like, all right, I need to exit at break even as soon as possible. So I was able to exit like a little bit under break even. So like I did take a tiny bit of a loss, but it was nothing like major. So this first arrow was entered because on the 34, we had a bounce up. So I saw this bounce up and I was like, all right, let's get it. I'm in. Let's see if we can start to bounce now. But as you can see, we kind of just did the opposite. We did the opposite, which is, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Can't really do much about it. So then what else I was looking for was for the 55 to have a nice bounce, and it does right here. So I entered as soon as this candle closed, but I ended up getting filled at 5:06 instead of like 5:03, so it's like a 3-point difference. I think I was a little bit late to the trigger because I was contemplating, do I really want to add in another contract? And then, you can see that price, I'm in 2 cons right here, and you can see price does break below the entry candle. And a lot of times price doesn't really break below this entry candle, or if it does, it will not close below it. So I know that one of my entries would have been exits, would have been if we close below this low right here. If we close below this low, I'm out. And I did have a stop at 80 because I calculated that the 55R would, this is like the area where it would close at. So I placed my stop limit order there, and luckily it didn't get filled out. I was able to, price was able to kind of go back up, bounce. It came back down, whatever, but then it went back up, and as it came up, I was like, all right, I'd rather be at break even rather than having price drop back down here and getting me stopped out. And I was, as soon as I realized, like, I was like halfway through this trade, somewhere around here, when I realized that, like, oh crap, like, we rejected this high. Remember, we rejected this high over here, right here. So me realizing that in the middle of my trade, I was like, oh crap, I gotta exit at break even, or like at least close to break even. And that's where I exited right here. I exited at like 503.5, and my average was like at like around 506. So I just lost like maybe 3 points, which is really not that big of a deal. So then I was 0-2 for the day, but my conviction was, it was right. I just didn't have the courage or the guts to just stay in my trade even longer. So that were my first 2 trades, and then the third trade you just saw me take. Yeah, it was like 2 hours later, but I just had the charts up in the background, and luckily I saw this, and it was a good opportunity. So those were my trades for the day. And I am down like a tiny bit. Nothing like too worrisome, but it's always, I guess, sad to see whenever you are down for the day, especially when you have had like such a long run. But just getting this one dub right here at the end, it does boost your confidence a little bit in how your trading system is, and like just so you know that, oh, my trading system works fine, like just keep doing what you're doing and you'll be fine. So as long as you're consistent and you just stick to what you know, you'll be fine. And with that being said, peace.